What's up, guys? Zach is back with another episode. I hope you guys are following along on the blog. Things are getting pretty interesting, heating up a little bit, and we're seeing a lot of price action against a lot of the different setups that I am following along, actually. But nevertheless, the markets are, we had a good week. Then NASDAQ actually finished up this week, although it is finishing down for the month, which is actually down for the first time, a red month, the first time since last October. But nevertheless, things are chugging along, and I think that we are pretty much priced in for the inflation woes and the fears. I think pretty much it's already priced in. I mean, if the conversations now are inflation, scary. And I mean, a lot of the tech and growth are down, especially the growth are down 30-40% already. So I mean, in my opinion, since the market is forward looking, I think that it is for the most part priced in. But of course, if the inflation really does come around and bite ourselves in the behind, then bad things can happen, and maybe the economy is going to crash. Who knows? That's a different story. But as far as the inflation fears being priced in, I think it is for the most part, and I think that we should start seeing a bounce in growth and tech, which it's kind of been my narrative for a week or so, and it's pretty much coming into fruition. So that's cool. I'm feeling pretty good today. Had a little bit of a rest for the last 2 days, and so I'm going to try to fit as much as I can into this video today. Including what to watch for the next week. We have a lot of setups that I've created alerts for on TrendSpider, which is an awesome technical analysis software, and they have a 7-day free trial. And actually, if you can go in there and try it right now, link in the description. And if you want to pull the trigger before June 1st, they have 45% off for Memorial Day sale. I'm actually contacting TrendSpider right now, trying to get a function working where I can just share all my alerts, but with my followers. So you maybe click a link or something, and you can see all of my current alerts. That would be such a cool function. I don't know if they're going to get back to me, but anyways, we're going to see about that. So appreciate you guys for following along. The first thing that I would like to take a look at, it's going to be on the blog from the May the 28th. And I was looking at this Facebook. I had actually set an alert on this purple line, I guess, right here. This is a trend that dating back pretty far for Facebook that it has rejected 3 times, I believe. And I had actually set an alert right here because I think this is a really strong resistance. And then at the same time, I can see the stochastic RSI is about to show selling signals. So I felt pretty good about this, and this is the 50-day moving average, this red line right here. So I think it could probably come back and hold, pull back at least consolidate a little bit towards the 50-day moving average. At least that was my hypothesis. And turned out it worked out pretty well because, as you know, Facebook began selling off. I got this alert. We bought a put on it, and it's pretty flat, although I think it finished up about 1%. But I expect to go into next week and sell off a little bit more. But of course, we're going to have to see about that. If it pulls back to another couple red days, I think we could probably take profit on that. But so far so good, and I see some of you guys on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at real_ZLParker, and you will see the exact trades that I'm doing when I'm doing them in real time, for the most part, at least unless I forget to post something, which happens sometimes because the markets move fast. Let me tell you. But anyways, moving on. The next one that I was looking at is Snowflake, and this one's a more interesting one. And if you don't know what Snowflake is, they basically provide they're like a data cloud and ecosystem that enables customers to consolidate data into a single source of truth to drive meaningful business insights, data-driven applications, and share data. I mean, it's companies are going to use this to get insights from all of the data that they are collecting. And I think it's a very powerful company, and the CEO is actually the old CEO of ServiceNow, which is really funny because it's SNow, like ServiceNow, but now ServiceNow ticker is NOW, obviously. So I don't know if that is coincidence or what, but it's pretty interesting. SNow, ServiceNow, Snowflake. Okay. Anyways, so I was looking at this, and also I have this resistance here, which also dated back, and it's rejected the resistance a few times. So I don't know. I mean, I'm overall bullish. The earnings came out, by the way, and the earnings were not good, but it got a lot of attention on CNBC and with the Kramer gang. And anyways, so I saw the interview with the CEO. Looks interesting. I mean, they've got a lot of big clients. They're one of the fastest growing billion-dollar companies out there. I mean, I personally do like it, and I see that there is a huge benefit from this service that they are providing. Anyways, looking at their chart a little bit, it just took off. It was up, including the the normal hours and the after hours. It was up more than 8% yesterday, and that was off of bad earnings. So I thought to myself, well, this is maybe a little bit of an overreaction here, because historically, well, not historically, but over the past months, it hasn't done very well. So point is, which way is it going to go? Is it going to break it, or is it not going to break it? So I wanted to wait and see. And sure enough, the alert went off from TrendSpider. And, oh yeah, by the way, the stochastic and the MACD are showing overbought. Obviously overbought. Look at this green candle. Nevertheless, it did, long story short, it did hit the resistance and it started falling back down. So maybe moving closer to the 50-day moving average, I would say, before I make up my mind what's going to happen next. But nevertheless, puts will work here, I think. Of course, this is going into a long weekend, so we'll see what's going on. And there's a lot of other ones that I'm looking at. I copy and pasted them all right here. We're going to be taking a look more in depth today, and we're about to go ahead and do that. But before we do, keep in mind the infrastructure bill is in negotiations. I think the GOP countered with $928 billion of investments over the course of 8 years. Basically, infrastructure, like obviously roads, bridges, airports, the EV infrastructure. That's why EV all got a boost. But yeah, you guys can read that list. I mean, pretty much it's like that. And there's a quote from Morgan Stanley saying, "We believe the biggest beneficiaries of growing and extending BEV incentives will be based on who can produce the most BEVs and batteries to meet demand. GM and Tesla stand out here." And keep in mind, Morgan Stanley Tesla price target for the 12 months is $880. So this is a pretty interesting. It's almost $900. That's kind of a lot. But yeah, I mean, I'm right there with him, of course. So nevertheless, it is what it is. Take it how you want. Tesla is a very, very, very highly debated topic, as everybody knows, especially on finance Twitter, whatever, stock Twitter, Tesla Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Pretty highly debated. But anyways, like I said, take it as you will, but I do agree with them that probably the biggest beneficiaries for the infrastructure is, and which is going to happen. The infrastructure is going to happen. It just depends on how much money. Also, Biden came out with the new budget, which is like $6 trillion. Overall, I think this is great. America definitely needs an upgrade in infrastructure. I mean, let's be honest. Let's just be honest. It needs some upgrade. And I think it's going to create a lot of jobs and trickle down. So overall, I think this is a great thing for the USA. And the biggest beneficiaries are going to be EVs and semiconductors, I assume. That is my opinion. Semiconductors, because they're thinking about, they have like 52 billion allocated to build like 6 to 9, I think, new semiconductor factories in the US, which is going to be huge because they want to compete more with Taiwan. Because of the Taiwan, it's kind of like in between a rock and a hard place between China and the US. I mean, obviously Taiwan is the US allies, but they have to play ball, I guess you could say, with China. But anyways, so US is building more semiconductor factories. Is very, 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 very good. So I really like that idea, and it's going to happen. And with 52 billion committed to investing into the semiconductors, U.S., I think could possibly raise up to 150 billion in total in private capital. So this is all very, very, very good times to be investing in semiconductors. I mean, they've gotten smashed. I mean, obviously there's a shortage. I think most of this is already priced in. Of course, there's still a shortage until there isn't. The demand is only going to go up from here. But I think that the shortage is priced in. So I think that as well with tech and growth, I think most of this is already priced in. And I tend to agree with the Fed and Jerome Powell with how I like how they're handling it. I think they're holding our hands, through this. There's obviously going to be inflation. Everybody knows that, so that's why it's probably already priced in. But nevertheless, I think it's all going to be transitory, just like they're saying. It's bad right now, but it's going to chill out later. Pretty much. Explain like I'm 5. But anyways, I want to move on to Trend Spider and go ahead and go over all of the stocks to watch for next week. Or maybe we should do that in a different video. I will do it in the same video. Don't want to edit 2 videos today. So let me go ahead and share this screen with you. I don't want to do any of these. So let me make sure I'm sharing this screen really quick, and I am. Okay, let's get into it. So the first one, we are looking at Ford right here. So Ford was another one that I was thinking about, and I didn't put it on this list. Oh, what a pity. But anyways, I was looking at it. I had an alert set. My mistake if I didn't put it on this list. But I had my alert set right here on this trend because, as you can see, it has tested it 1, almost 2, 3, and this was the 4th time over, what was that, since June 2020. So that's about a year. Yep. It's tested this resistance 4 times. Now remember, I turned these on. They draw them for you. You just push a button on TrendSpider, and that's why I like TrendSpider, because for sure, we know how to do technical analysis here on my channel, but the thing is, I would prefer to spend my time on fundamental analysis, reading the news, sifting through things, looking through the reports, the financials, browsing Twitter, browsing Reddit, or whatever your source is. I think it's better. But nevertheless, this makes it just so much faster and time saving, so I really do like it. But anyways, let's get into it. So there is this support here. As you can see, Ford has had a great little run up from the support, and it hit the resistance, and sure enough, it fell down. So I had actually set this Ford rejects resistance. That's what I was anticipating, because it rejected it 4 times. So it was already 3 out of 3, and then I saw it coming up close after this. It gapped up so much here. Turn the heat map on, see if it picks anything up. So there's more support going to be down here. This is a lot of price action down here. But nevertheless, let's switch the heat map to trends. See if it can pick anything up. Probably there's a lot of price action up here. Yup, along this support there is. And this is closer. The darker it is, the more red it is, the more price action. More volume, more choppy, you could even say. But this is along the 50-day moving average. Anyways, let's get that off. So yeah, I set the alert, and sure enough, it did reject it, and it is falling down. So puts are going to work well here, and like the heat map indicated, there is more action down here. That's towards the 50-day moving average. So I mean, it's bound to cool off, and I was in the calls back, I don't remember, it was a while ago. I was back here somewhere. I was in the June, July calls on Ford, if you remember that. So long term, Ford is great. I like Ford. They're investing $30 billion into EVs. I like Ford long term, but as far as short term plays, I think puts make a lot of sense here, so it cools down a little bit, because let's be honest with you, the Ford F-150 Lightning, it's pretty expensive, and it's not like the wheels are on the streets right now anyways. But anyways, and then if you look at the charts here, the seasonality over the past 8 years, it's not very good. Especially end of the summer, so we'll see how it goes. But of course, the EV stuff is coming out now. But anyways, that is my trend. That is my what's it called? Alert there, and setup. And then the next one that triggered was actually Snowflake, and like I had showed you before on my write-up from yesterday. And it definitely rejected it, and it's moving down. So I expect it to probably consolidate closer to the 150-day moving average. And let's see if we can get heat map turned on here. See, nope. Not much going on for Snow. There is major resistance going to be up here. But that's interesting. I think if it can break this, I think it can run, in my opinion. But so far it's not breaking it. So expect it to move closer to the 50. Puts are going to work well in this this situation, especially the stochastic RSI is lining up too. And then the next one is Facebook, which was pretty good. I mean, I measured out this decline the last time it tested this resistance, and keep in mind this resistance has gone back since last August, so it's pretty strong. It failed here and found the support towards the 180-day moving average. It's up again this year. It's run up back to this resistance again. And anyways, I measured out this last time it tested it, the decline that it had before it bounced up a little bit. I guess you might even call that a dead cat bounce, temporary dead cat. But anyways, so measuring it out, I cloned it, right click, clone this annotation, and then I moved it over here. So to see that it's and it's about 1 week, 1 day away, 1 week away. So maybe a week could fall down, and this is I extended the 50-day moving average, just estimated. So I think it's going to be somewhere in the 315, fall back down to 315, which is about $14, give or take. That is my expectation, so that is why I entered into the puts yesterday. And that one I actually caught while I was awake. I mean, I'm trading in a different time zone, so I'm not always catching these, unfortunately. But that's why I want to, all these alerts that I have right here, I want to make a link where you can just click them and then they populate your trend spider. I mean, that would be pretty sick, in my opinion. But anyways, moving on. These are some of the older ones that I'm still waiting on. This is the Nail, which is a 3X Home Builders. I really do like this. I think that it could run up to $117. I mean, I did the same thing. The last time it found support, measured out, cloned it. But that's the red box is my target here. Nevertheless, we're going to see how that works out. And let's see. But the stochastic is looking pretty good. Also, MACD is under is oversold, so I think that it can bounce for sure. You know, it was it down? It's down 1.84% today. I mean, you would think that it's going to hold this trend and just go up. So I mean, you can always start dollar cost averaging into shares, which I'd probably recommend doing since this is leveraged anyways. But I do have an alert set for this trend line, which this trend line dates back all the way to COVID, and including the times that it bounced here. And then there were some times it rejected and bounced, broke through here. I mean, it's playing around with this a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back to it, point being, and bounce again. But anyways, this one, it's probably more of a long shot. I mean, home building is really hot for it to come back here in the short term. But we'll see about it. I mean, it's possible, as you see up here. I mean, it is possible. Let's see, how long is this? Well, would you look at that? Fits perfectly. So it is possible. And then maybe we could see something more like that. But anyways, who knows? I mean, we'll see. Funny how those things work out. And that's why one reason why I love Trend Spider. Makes everything so simple for you. And anyways, moving on. Next one is going to be Morgan Stanley. Yes, I do have a Morgan Stanley setup going here. This is really cluttered. But as you can see, it's in a parallel channel right now, and it's been in it since around December last year. Obviously, financial sector has done very well this year, and I'm waiting for it to pull back to this support, which it is riding this support more or less since last November, December. Anyways, that's a simple one. Consolidate, buy calls for Morgan Stanley. I still think financials are good. This is a no-brainer one for me. All right, and Take-Two. Take-Two Interactive, which is the video game company that makes Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar, etc., etc. This is another one that I am bullish on, as well as Roblox, but I don't know. Roblox has already gone up quite a lot. It's at all-time highs right now, I believe. But Take-Two still has room to run. I think going into the summertime, video game sales should go up. I mean, right? That's my theory. But nevertheless, there is definitely some resistance and support right here. I mean, this support goes back to COVID. Both of these do, so it depends. This one's going to be a little bit tricky, so watch it carefully. But no matter which support it finds here, I think it's going to make a run for it to the $200 range, I think. Similar to what it did here, although I don't know if this should be here, if it finds this support, or if it's going to find this support. Of course, we are going to see, and that's why you got to watch. This is not bulletproof. We all obviously need to watch. You could even try to get puts going down into that red zone too. Stochastic looks ready for puts. Anyways, the next one is going to be Visa alert that I have. Simple enough. It's another financial. I like financials right now. Everybody likes financials right now. Look at these analyst estimates. Everyone's buy, except for 2 holds. No, 1 hold. Piper Sandler. There's literally only 1 hold in the past 6 months for Visa. I mean, obviously people are going to be spending more money when the economy opens up. That's a no-brainer. So let's see. This is the 50-day moving average. It's riding around more or less the 50-day moving average, so I want to see it bounce on the 50-day. Yep, bounce. We're going to bounce on the 50-day, see if we can make a run for it. It's down the last couple days, so I like it still. Let's keep watching it. This one's going to take a few more days. Patience is the key here. Next one is going to be Applied Materials, semiconductor play. I want it to cool off a little bit. It had a good last week, a very good last week. I mean, it had last 2 weeks even. So let's see if it can cool off a little bit and then bounce on this support, which it extends back to COVID. So this is a strong support right here. It found it before, it bounced before, bounced here, and then it used it as the resistance here. It finally broke out of it. I mean, those were September lows, ran up till December. It's interesting. But anyways, it's definitely still making a bull run, in my opinion. And it really just depends where it's going to end up here. These black lines, I have measured out all the different runs that it made when it bounced on that support, and kind of taking an average would set it right around 148-ish, about June 15th, I would say. But of course, that's assuming that it's going down right now to bounce. That's just estimate right there. And remember, guys, these are just useful for setting up your options plays. These are not going to be, let's say if we think that it's going to hit this level by June 15th. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and buy like June 15th at that exact price, because that doesn't really give you much wiggle room, because things can happen. So I would always spend a little bit more money and give yourself a little bit more time, or a lower strike when you're dealing with the calls. Anyways, the next one is going to be GPS, The Gap, which owns Banana Republic and a lot of other brands. And anyways, this one is simple. Gap has a Yeezy deal. Stochastic looks good. I want it to consolidate. It actually went down 4% today. So it is going in the direction that I thought it was going to go. It's back to the 50-day moving average. It actually found a little bit of support on it, but I'm curious if it's going to fall more. So we're going to keep watching this one, but I want it to go back to this support here. But it looks like it might be finding the support on the 50-day moving average. So of course we're going to see. Got my alert set for this support though. We're going to see. We're going to wait maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, because remember Monday is Memorial Day. And then the next one is going to be Bhp Group, which does a lot of what's it called? Materials like iron mining, copper, just a bunch of stuff like that, and a bunch of stuff that's doing really well in this economy right now with the inflation. So again, here I've measured out different runs that it's made: blue, green, red, and that was by this tool right here. And then I cloned them, drew it out here. It looks like 82 is pretty much what it likes to use as a resistance, because it's pretty much hit $82 2 times. One last March 4th and one May 10th. Anyways, so this one is pretty interesting in my opinion, and it's already down here. I think this is a really safe one. I think if it does come back down a little bit again, which it is possible, over this week, if it hits this support, I mean, I'm all in on the calls. I think this is a good play here. It's nothing to do with tech, so this is a pretty safe type of cyclical play. In high inflation, this is going to do good because all of the stuff they are in is going up in price. I think it's a good play, in my opinion. Next, moving on is Octa. My resistance is right here. I want to see it break through. This is going to be a different one. I mean, the stochastic is about to turn, it looks like. The last time it turned, it ran up from about 220 to 240, 246. This is really volatile, as you can see. But I kind of like this one, though. And there's two ways you could play it. Yes, it's on the support right now. And here's the resistance that I'm watching. So there's two ways you could do it. You could buy calls. I would go small. I would probably do vertical spreads to save money and decrease the risk. And then I'd probably sell it around ish here. And then see if it can break through. If it breaks through, buy more calls. Pretty much like that. But I think overall I'm bullish on this one for sure. And seems like a pretty good deal right now. I mean, yeah. I do think so. Yeah. It's riding right around it. So I like it. I like this one. The support goes far back too. I like it. But anyways, the next one, it's Visa. Oh, hold on. Oh, we already did the Visa. Bounce at support. Bounce at this support. What was my other Visa? Oh, I got a. Oh, that's interesting. I got a two alerts here. One trigger for Visa bounce at the 50, and then I've got this one bounce at the support. Oh, this is on the 4 hour. Yeah, that's right. I did do two. Interesting. So actually, the thing is, what I should do here is go up to the top left on Trend Spider, MTFA. We can actually overlay the 4 hour with a daily chart, so I can see both of mine. So this is the interesting part here. So I've actually got, you can see the dotted lines are going to be the daily, all the trends, all the supports for the daily. So this is pretty interesting function of Trend Spider. Even on the indicators down here, you can see the dashed lines are going to be the versus the daily, or I can change it to versus weekly. So the weekly supports, the weekly 50-day moving average is going to be here. But I wanted to do the daily because my first Visa is the daily 50 moving average bounce, and then my second one is the Visa on the 4 hour chart. Yep, it's this support right here, which I like this support. So I don't know if that looks cluttered to you guys, but I'm liking it. So yeah, I don't know, but it's relatively close to the same thing. I do like this support here. It's tested it 2 times in the past week or so. So we'll see about that. But anyways, I've got 2 set up for Visa. Don't need to get into that very much. I want to turn this off. And then for Discover, this is also on the 4 hour chart here. Let me make sure everything is right. Yes. All right. Discover on the 4 hour chart. I, again, like financials. So this one compared to American Express, Visa, MasterCard. I like Discover here. I like what they're doing. I'm a Discover customer. They have amazing customer support, customer service. It's the best, in my opinion. Amex is good too, but Discover is excellent. I like Discover cards. Discover, they have the banking now, which I like. I'm a customer. Shout out to Discover, I guess. But yeah, anyways, if this consolidates towards the trend on the 4 hour chart, then I would like to see it run up. I want to switch over to daily, see if we got anything. So actually the 50-day moving average here, it's pretty much the support that we're looking at. So that's interesting. Also, it's close to the 180 on the 4 hour. Well, that's an interesting little feature here. Anyways, and then last but not least is TRV. Now this is an interesting, this is the Travelers Company. Big commercial insurance writer, and look at this. It's in a nice little parallel channel. It's got really nice support along the 50-day moving average. This is on the day chart. So yeah, I mean, if it bounces on the 50-day moving average, I'm going to go ahead and buy that and probably sell it up here. Now the stochastic is looking like it's about to take off. Now the way that I found this one, I'll tell you guys a secret on Trend Spider. I went to Market Scanner. And then I went to, I think it was RSI. You can, yeah, an RSI breakout. And then I scanned across Dow Jones 30. And you can scan this. So basically it's telling you when the blue line on the RSI, stochastic RSI, is going to across the red line pretty much. And it's indicating that this is about to go up. And that's how I found it. So I scanned across the Dow Jones 30 with this RSI breakout. So basically it tells you any single stock inside the Dow Jones 30 that you're scanning that has this RSI that's about to, looks like it's about to go up. And here we are. That's how I got to TRV. So that's pretty interesting. I like it though. And we can change this to I don't know, NASDAQ 100. We can scan across NASDAQ 100. So let's see if this RSI breakout is going to give us any results. Any stock in the NASDAQ 100 index that has the RSI about to break out. Let's see if it's going to give us any results. I am recording. I'm screen sharing right now, so it's a little bit slow. But here we go. And let this list populate. Of course, it's scanned over a 100, so I guess it takes a little bit more time. Oh, look, AMD. Cool. eBay. AMD DocuSign. Interesting. So let's click on it. Let's see. I want to go up here to the chart and, oops, don't want to do that. I want to set my indicators to, I want to see the RSI. Yep, the RSI is about to break out. Interesting. I don't like that one as much though. It's already above the 50. I mean, yeah, we're just going to have to see. Well, let's check out eBay then. Yeah. And DocuSign, maybe, could be interesting. It doesn't look too interesting. But anyways, guys, you could just sort through this and check. And it's got a lot of different strategies. And you can make your own custom ones too. It's pretty interesting. And then you can also backtest this stuff. So, yeah. But I like it overall. Nevertheless, that is what I've got for the TRV. TRV bounce on 50. I mean, they're writing commercial property insurance, so it can be interesting, especially with those industries taking off right now. But anyways, guys, I appreciate it once again. And I know it was a long video, super long video today, but that's going over what to watch for the week and some little details on TrendSpider. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I can't wait for a lot of those setups to trigger. I mean, go ahead and check out that link in the description, by the way. You got a 7-day free trial of the TrendSpider. I mean, the point of why TrendSpider, in my opinion, is better than TradingView or just the tons of other TA software out there is because of all of the automation, the back testing, the market scanner. You can customize your strategies like a multi-data input. Also the triggers too, trigger alerts, multi-data step trigger alerts. But anyways, that is what sets it out for me. And you just right click on any of the trend lines or the Bollinger Bands or the moving averages or even the RSIs, and you right click and you can create an alert. So I mean, and also multi-step alert too. So this is very cool. I think it saves me a lot of time doing the technical analysis. And the alert system is top notch, and that's why, okay, this alert's going off. I'm thinking on nighttime, I'm thinking on the weekends, what I'm setting my alerts, doing my technical analysis, which is very fast now, and set my alerts, and then when it starts moving, I can go and play golf, or I can go and have a drink during the daytime and let the alerts tell me when anything interesting is happening. And then if I get an alert, they'll send you a text message or an email, and then I can go in and place the order. But anyways, pretty much like that, guys. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram for more personal stuff if you're interested. And anyways, appreciate you guys once again, but I will see you on the other side. Peace.